times in our lives when we feel like we are lost in the midst of the many turns of the material world. In the meantime, a soft but powerful light appeared, like a call from within, a reminder that we are not just the body, but the soul, eternal, immortal, and filled with the light of God. Mahavatar Babaji, the great timeless teacher, is the embodiment of pure light and cosmic wisdom. He did not come to establish a religion, but to awaken people from the slumber of ignorance, reminding us that we all carry God in our hearts. This video appears to be a great cause and fate for you. Here are 77 insightful, crystallized messages of enlightenment from His divine teachings, shared with you who are on your way home. 1. Stillness is the language of God. In this noisy world, you will not be able to hear the divine voice if your mind is constantly rushing. Step into the deep silence, where all outside sounds cease to exist, and you will hear the gentle but powerful call of the soul, the call of return. When the mind is like the surface of a lake without ripples, the light of God is fully reflected in you. 2. You don't have to go far to meet God. He is breathing with you. Babaji teaches that the divine connection is not in the mountains or in the great temple, but in every conscious breath. Every time you breathe consciously, you are in sync with the rhythm of the universe, where God is always present. The breath is the bridge between the form and the invisible, between you and the infinite. 3. The ultimate goal is not to live long, but awakening. Babaji emphasizes, life is not measured by years, but by the awakening of the soul. You can live 100 years and still fall asleep. But just a moment of true awakening, you have touched the realm of immortality. Don't count the years, count the moment you really exist. For enlightenment is not a destination, it is your natural state. The conditioned mind leads us to believe that enlightenment is far-fetched, reserved only for saints. But Babaji points out, enlightenment is your original nature, covered only by the dust of illusion and assimilation. You don't have to become the light. You are the light. Just remember. 5. The journey back is not to go far, but to go inward. Babaji often reminds us that people are always looking for God outside, in books, religions, or philosophies. But the biggest truth is, He is always in you. It's only when you stop, turn inside, that you realize you've never been separated. The outside seeker lost himself. He who seeks inward finds himself again, and God. 6. Love is the quickest way to become one with God. No complicated rituals, no sharp reason, just a truly loving heart. You are very close to the source. Babaji teaches that pure love is the language that the universe understands best. When you love without a reason, you are touching the presence of God. 7. Fear is darkness, and you, the light. Every time you feel small, threatened, or lost, remember Babaji's words, fear only exists when you forget who you are. When you stand firm in the light of the true self, nothing can subdue you. Your presence, when awake, is enough to repel the darkness of eternity. 8. Forgiveness is the first step to soul liberation. Babaji taught, when you hold on to anger, you are not tying others, you are tying yourself. Forgiveness is not forgetting, but releasing the energy that is holding you back from spiritual freedom. The one who knows how to forgive is the one who has transcended karma. 9. Every soul carries within itself a ray of eternal light. No one is inferior. No one is so guilty that they cannot return. Babaji has always emphasized that every living being, even if lost, has the seed of God within him. Look at others with Babaji's eyes. You will see that they are also him in a different form. 10. This whole universe is a reflection of your inner self. When you see the world in chaos, don't be quick to blame the world. Look at your mind. Calm mind, static scene. Confused mind, confused scene. Babaji taught, if you want to change the world, start by changing your own level of consciousness. The outside is just a mirror. Internally, he is a painter. 11. Acceptance is the foundation of inner freedom. Many people think freedom is the ability to change things. But Babaji teaches that true freedom comes from no longer being controlled by resistance. When you stop fighting what you are, your mind begins to open and peace gradually returns. Acceptance does not mean surrender. It's the realization that everything that's going on has a deep wisdom behind it. 12. Every challenge is a door to spirituality. Babaji once said, no suffering is meaningless. Every time you fall into adversity, you have two choices: become bitter or awaken. Strong souls always choose the second path, turning pain into light. You're not punished, you're being prepared. 13. The greatest teacher is always present within you. You can learn from thousands of books, but your intuition, your gut feeling from the depths, is the truest voice of God. Babaji has always emphasized, it is good to find the outer guru, but the inner guru is immortal, always leading you even in the dark. When you stop asking outside, you'll start to hear the voice inside. 14. The truth is undisputed, it just needs to be lived. In the age of information and opinions, it is easy to get caught up in the debate of right, wrong, true, false. But Babaji teaches that truth does not lie in reason, but in life experience. When you live authentically, the light you radiate speaks for itself. Light doesn't need to be explained, it just needs to be present. 15. An awakened person is a person who lives in the middle of life without being drawn by life. You don't need to retreat into the mountains and forests to cultivate. Babaji said, cultivation is in the middle of the market, in the midst of the noise, in the heart of life. That is the great challenge and also the greatest gift, living like a candle that is not blown out by the wind of life. It's not about being away from the world, it's about living in a world with a heart as bright as the sky. 16. The frequency with which you utter is the strongest prayer. Babaji doesn't talk much about rituals, but teaches that the energy you carry with you every day is the message to the universe. If you radiate love, gratitude, and peace, you are in tune with God. You don't need to say anything, your presence is already a prayer. 17. True happiness doesn't depend on conditions, it's a natural state when you stop asking. Babaji teaches that much of suffering comes from resistance to the present and desire for something different. But when you let go of the need to change things, your mind automatically falls into deep happiness for no reason. It's not that you need anything more. You just have to let go of expectations. 18. Reincarnation does not end through death, but through awakening. You can die many times, but if you are still bound by greed, anger, delusion, you will keep coming back. Babaji says, only when you realize that you are not a body, that you are no longer identified with everything that floats, that you are truly free. Liberation from samsara is not by abandoning the body, but by abandoning the ego. 19. Peace of mind is heaven, disturbing mind is hell. Heaven or hell is not a place, but an inner state. Babaji teaches that everything you experience is a reflection of your mind. When your mind is calm, you can live in the middle of the earth as if you were in heaven. Instead of praying for heaven after death, create it right now. 20. Your soul is not here to live as the multitude, but to awaken the majority. Babaji always reminds us, if you are feeling lost, different, not belonging, maybe it's because you didn't come here to fit in, but to awaken. Be steadfast, for your light needs to be lit to show others the way. You are the seed of the new age. Don't be afraid of being different. You were born to be different. 21. All are God in various forms. Babaji emphasizes that you don't need to look far for God. Every person, every leaf, every moment is an expression of absolute consciousness. When you realize the sacredness in everything, life becomes meditation. When you look into other people's eyes and see yourself, you have seen God. 22. Spiritual evolution is a process of letting go, not cumulative. Babaji taught, every class you let go of a layer of fear, a layer of ego, you get closer to yourself. Enlightenment is not to add, but to remove all veils of true light within you. You're inherently whole, you just forget that. 23. If you want to see the truth clearly, stop looking through the eyes of lust. The mind is often clouded by desires, expectations, fears. But it is only when you become as pure as a calm lake that you can see the true reflection of truth. Babaji taught, the pure mind is where the natural truth appears. No need to hunt for the truth, just purify your sight. 24. Awakening is not to be someone, it is to no longer be anyone. Babaji says that enlightenment occurs when you are no longer defined by your name, role, or past. Then you are no longer a me, but a part of the whole, selflessness, infiniteness, freedom. You are not the story you are telling, you are the presence that is observing it. 25. Time is not an enemy, it is a tool for you to discover eternity. We are afraid of time because we think it is taking our youth, opportunities, and life. But Babaji teaches that each moment is just a point on the way to the roots. Mindfulness in the present is the only way to pass time. The present is the only gateway to the eternal realm. 26. Faith is not believing what you haven't seen, it's living as if you have seen. Faith is the energy to act. Babaji teaches that the more you live with the certainty of the divine presence within you, the more it manifests. Just like a seed doesn't need to see a tree to believe it's a tree, so do you. True belief is an action, not just an idea. 27. Pain is the invisible teacher, coming to help you break through what is no longer serving your soul. Pain is not punishment, Babaji says, but a call from the Spirit asking you to wake up. When you embrace it with awareness, it becomes the energy that promotes rebirth. Every wound is a gateway for light to enter. 28. You don't have to be worthy to be loved. You need to remember that you have always been worthy. Babaji teaches that love is not something you win, it's what you are. Every soul is the embodiment of divine love. The practice is not to be loved, but to get rid of all illusions that you are not worthy of love. No one lacks love, they just don't realize that they are love. 29. The most sacred sound is the stillness between two breaths. Babaji always mentions the power of conscious breathing. When you are in a moment of no thought, no words, you are touching the deepest layer of reality, where God is whispering. Stillness has no sound, but is the foundation for all divine sounds. 30. You're not here to learn anything new, you're here to remember what you already know. Babaji teaches that enlightenment is not an accumulation, but a reminiscence. Your soul used to know everything. The cultivation is to remove the dust of forgetfulness. Awakening is a journey back to the home you have never left. 31. Breathing is the bridge between the form and the invisible. Babaji teaches that breathing is the key to connecting with the spiritual realm. When you breathe in mindfulness, you are no longer this body, you become a flowing life. Inhale, you receive cosmic life. Exhale, you entrust everything to the source. Every conscious breath is a wordless prayer to God. 32. True freedom does not come from escaping the world, but from no longer being identified with it. You don't need to leave your family, work, or life to become enlightened. Babaji points out that you can live in the middle of the world but not be dominated by the world. When your mind is free in the midst of all circumstances, you are free. An awakened person is a person who lives in life and does not belong to life. 33. The ego is a dream, the true self is awakening. Babaji emphasizes that the ego is an illusionary shell created by memories and fears. When you let go of the ego, you don't lose yourself, you return to the true self, pure, immortal, unlimited. You're not what you think, you're the stillness behind that thought. 34. Be empty, so that God can fill you. Babaji taught that a full bowl cannot be filled with more water. In the same way, the mind full of I want, I need, I must have will have no room for light to enter. Only when you become empty can you receive the divine. Emptiness is not the gateway to infinity. 35. There is no way to enlightenment, you are the way. Babaji teaches that the truth is not at the end of a road, it is right under your feet. Every moment of living right, every moment of being fully present, it is enlightenment that is happening. You don't need to find the path, you just walk as if you are the light. 36. When you look at others through the eyes of the soul, you see only love and light. Babaji reminds us that all judgment comes from the mind, love comes from the soul. When you really look at someone with an open heart, you realize that they are you, in a different form. Forgiveness does not come from reason, but from the realization no one is really different from you. 37. Every moment you are awake, you are changing the frequency of the whole of humanity. Babaji teaches that enlightenment doesn't just bring personal freedom, it's a gift to the whole world. When you are quiet, loving, honest, you spread that energy into the collective. You are never just a person. The transformation within you is the healing light for the whole planet. End of part 1. You are the awakening light. The first 37 messages are not just teachings to read and memorize, they are mirrors to reflect on yourself. Every line, every idea, is a reminder that the light you are looking for is not far away, it is burning within you. Babaji does not come for you to worship him. He came for you to recognize the divine in yourself. Each message is a step that leads you back to the deepest, quietest, and purest place of the soul, where there is no doubt, no more searching, only the pure presence of the true self. If your heart beats when you read these words, then the journey has begun. And part 2 is waiting for you, with brighter, deeper gems to awaken the teacher within you and become yourself an embodiment of light. You don't have to go far to find God, just go deep into yourself. Namaste.